I'm here with my best friend and my husband, Sean, and we're gonna be making one of his favorites, but it's actually for the kids, but he really is like a big kid.
It's true.
Which is clean eating SpaghettiOs.
Okay, I have a history with SpaghettiOs.
You do. When we first got married, I actually bought SpaghettiOs in a can because I didn't know what to make him. He literally ate, I think, like 3 to 5 things. And when we got married, and so I just didn't know what to feed you, so I had to buy SpaghettiOs just to feed you. And so it wasn't until I actually reached out to his mom and I said, I need help. What did you ever make him? And so I started making a little bit more, and now you have quite
I have like 6
wide.
things. 6 or 7.
Yeah, you eat 7 things, so that's pretty good. But he definitely would like these clean eating SpaghettiOs. I never even got to give you these when I was making the recipe because the kids ate them all.
Oh,
they love them. So if your kids love SpaghettiOs or they just like pasta in general, this is going to be a little bit of a actually a lot healthier version than the canned kind. And we're just gonna start by boiling some water. And to the water, we're gonna add 4 ounces of tomato paste, 2 cups pasta, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon paprika, 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, 2 teaspoons sweetener of choice, 1/4 cup half and half, and 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. So to start, you just want to bring about 4.5 cups of water to a boil, and to that we're going to add some tomato paste. This is what is going to give it that SpaghettiO flavor, is the tomato paste. So we're going to let those two kind of simmer together. Just give it a little stir. And you want that tomato paste to almost melt before you add the rest of your seasonings to the water. So Sean, what are you most excited about our kids growing up? I know it's like the saddest thing ever when kids grow up, but we try often to talk about what are the good things about them growing up, because if we just sit here and stare at old pictures, we just cry. So
she does that a lot. She'll look at pictures on her phone of the kids, and then she sends them to me. And
it's true. And he's always like crying, like sending the cry face back to me. But we try and talk about, okay, what are the good things? Because there is a lot of good. It's just bittersweet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think with Ollie specifically, I think, you know, when he's older to play sports, because I like to take the kids outside and kick the ball around, but both of them are like not that into it yet. So something like that, or, you know, to just get him involved in sports.
Yeah.
With Maddie, seeing her creativity kind of blossoming now, she loves to just draw out of the blue and just draw pictures, and it's kind of fun to see how her artistic skills are developing, even without my help. So that's been kind of fun to see too.
It's true, and a big part of that has been Sean coloring and doing art with the kids. Yeah. And now I'm seeing all the time he's invested into teaching them his creative ways, because he's very creative. And just seeing how now that's blossoming in them has been really neat to watch. So really, you're just adding the seasonings to the pot with the tomato paste. You're bringing it to a boil, which it looks like we're just about there. So this is over high heat. And then kind of stir the pasta in, and we're gonna wait for this to come back to a boil. And you are not going to be draining this pasta like you would a normal pasta in a colander. You're literally, this is the sauce. You're cooking it in the sauce right now. So you're gonna let it boil for about 12 minutes until the pasta is tender. Now, depending on the kind of pasta you use, it might take a little less time, a little more time. You're just looking for the pasta to be done. And when it's done, that's when we can go ahead and finish off with the creamy additions that make it just like SpaghettiOs. All right, so I've been boiling these SpaghettiOs, and I've been stirring it pretty constantly, so every few minutes or so, just to make sure that it doesn't stick and burn to the bottom. And then once the pasta is tender, and you can do that by just kind of touching it or even blowing some off and tasting it, don't burn your mouth like I did, then we're gonna add our cheesy, creamy ingredients, which is our Parmesan cheese and our half and half. So you can add that half and half, Sean.
Anytime?
Yep. And this is what's gonna make it really taste like SpaghettiOs. So you're gonna just stir this for another minute or two, just until everything comes together and the cheese kind of melts in there. Doesn't this look good?
Caramelizing.
Yes. Yes, caramelizing.
Congealing?
When Sean is home without me and he has to feed the kids, every time
DoorDash.
he makes, well, DoorDash, sure. That, or he makes some kind of, I do buy organic, but I have some emergency boxed mac and cheese. And so he'll make that. And he always says that he has to let it caramelize by cooking a little bit longer. So that's his cooking expertise. I do not make boxed mac and cheese. I actually, don't I always ruin anything that I have to follow instructions? If it's like boxed.
Not just food.
I mess it up. And I'm like, this is why I make my own recipes.
You just had the camera.
I cannot make a boxed recipe.
You just got a camera for Maddie.
Yeah.
And you're like, why isn't this working?
Yeah, well, that's
read the instructions? No, 2 seconds later.
That is true. I'm bad at following instructions, I guess, but I can write instructions. So this looks perfect. You can see how the cheese is really melted in there and the pasta is cooked beautifully. So this is going to be perfect.